It's been about a week and a half since a gunman opened fire inside 3 spas in the Atlanta area. The alleged killer, Robert Aaron Long, claimed the lives of 8 people, most of them Asian American women. He's been charged with murder, and since then there have been calls from coast to coast to have Long charged with a hate crime. But investigators say there's no evidence to do so right now. Our Ryan Jenkins worked on this report earlier. He goes 360 to better understand why Long has not been charged with a hate crime and why many believe he should be.
However you define the mass shootings at 3 Atlanta area spas earlier this month, the heartbreak in the aftermath is clear. Rallies of solidarity nationwide and right here in Milwaukee condemned the violence. 7 of the 8 people killed were women. 6 were of Asian descent. The suspect has already been charged with murder and aggravated assault. Police say he claimed responsibility for the shootings, but federal investigators say so far there's no evidence it was a hate crime. That announcement sparking significant social debate regarding racism against Asian Americans. To fully dig into this debate, we're going 360, talking to Wisconsin's first Asian American legislator, calling for solidarity and change. 2 attorneys with 2 perspectives on charging a hate crime. The co-chair of the Asian American and Pacific Islander Coalition of Wisconsin, who describes the history of racism in her community. We start with what authorities in the Atlanta area are sharing this far.
He claims that these, and as the chief said, this is still early, but he does claim that it was not racially motivated. He apparently has an issue, what he considers a sex addiction, and sees these locations as something that allows him to go to these places, and it's a temptation for him that he wanted to eliminate.
That's Cherokee County Sheriff's Office spokesperson Jay Baker sharing remarks immediately after the mass shooting. Since then, there's been a growing debate about if the suspect, Robert Aaron Long, should be charged with a hate crime.
This man does deserve a fair investigation.
May Lee is a criminal defense attorney in Milwaukee.
He has rights under the Constitution, like all of us do. And if there are biases in any of the officers or anybody involved in the investigation, I think it is his constitutional right to be able to have a fair prosecution, fair defense.
From a legal standpoint, she says a hate crime does appear to be appropriate, but even if added later, it wouldn't do much to change the outcome of any prison sentence.
The Georgia statute, as I understand it, allows for an additional 2 years of imprisonment and $5,000 fine. So it's not significant when you're looking at a homicide, because he could be going away for life without parole or getting the death penalty.
Assistant State Public Defender Kathleen Chung says even if it doesn't impact a prison sentence, the decision to charge a hate crime is important.
The reason and the significance that legislatures have passed the hate crime statutes is because there is, under the law, a societal importance in identifying and stopping bigotry and discrimination based on race, gender, and other factors like that.
And she worries one hasn't already been declared.
In this case, the mere fact of the identity on the racial history and heritage of all the victims is well known. Failing to charge that as a hate crime does raise concerns.
Jessica Bowling with the Asian American and Pacific Islander Coalition of Wisconsin says racism against Asians has been invisible for far too long.
It's still hard for me to have that it takes this for people to realize that there is racism against Asians in the U.S.
Going in depth, the Center for the Study of Hate and Extremism says based off of crimes reported to police in some of America's largest cities, anti-Asian hate crimes surged 150% in 2020. In Atlanta, most of the victims were women.
We know that we've been sexualized our whole life. We know that there's that connection. We know that there's racism there. But when other people aren't willing to acknowledge it, it's extremely frustrating. It's like you're being gaslit and told that your experience isn't valid. and that you don't, this racism isn't real.
Jessica believes state and local leaders in Wisconsin need to be louder in their condemnation of the hate America witnessed. Wisconsin State Representative Francesca Hong agrees. It's why she has introduced this new resolution to the state assembly calling for change.
Solidarity is appreciated, but we need to move towards the solutions. And I think it's important to recognize that first, condemning and naming the violence is important, that this was a hate crime, that this was racially motivated, and that hate crimes and racism against Asians and Asian Americans is not new to our community.
Hong fears if action isn't taken now, violence will continue.
Racially motivated violence, gender violence, shootings, hate crimes, those are things that are a product of policy failures. And if we had services available to folks, if people had access to affordable housing and good public education, we would not be in this situation today. I firmly believe that.
The federal investigation is still underway. It's still not publicly known if the suspect ever visited the spas he targeted before the murders or if he knew his victims. Ryan Jenkins, TMJ4 News.